Okay, Lady Ada, what is this?
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Show and Tell, the most exciting, heartwarming, wonderful half an hour on the internet. No questions, bar none. It's me, Lady Ada, with me, Mr. Lady Ada, and we're here at the Adafruit factory broadcasting. I'm going to be your host tonight for the wonderful world of making. And as we see what creators and crafters and makers and hackers from around the world are up to, they're going to show off their projects on the Show and Tell. I'm going to start with some Adafruit peeps and then get to some community members and visitors. Please keep it to 2 to 3 minutes when we call on you, and then we'll be able to get to everybody and then mute your mic in between too. Great. Let's start with JP, who's requested to go first.
All right, awesome. Thank you. So I have a couple things actually today. So for my live stream tomorrow, John Park's workshop at 1 o'clock Eastern time, or 4 o'clock Eastern time, sorry. I'll be showing and working on a few different PyPortal projects that are used to display different stats that are collected from different web APIs, including the GitHub Stars project. And I've made a nice little trophy to display it. So I'm going to be working with that, as well as Twitter follower count and Reddit subs. So tune in if you want to see how to do that. It is super easy, and I've been learning, thanks to Lady Ada, a bit about RESTful APIs and JSON and other good stuff for bringing this data pretty easily in with CircuitPython onto your PyPortal to display. And it checks every once in a while, and it's really exciting when it updates because you get a little coin ding and you see the number go up. So
yes,
tune in for that.
Very important that the number goes up high. That's very important.
We want it to go up and up and up.
It's going to go up.
And then the other thing I just wanted to share is I got a really cool thrift store find the other day for $7. I picked up a set of Pilot aviation headset here.
Ooh, cool.
That has really nice sound cancellation just through the thickness of the foam and material. And the weird thing about it is, I guess in a cockpit, there's a communication system that uses these two plugs for the headphones and the mic, and they're different sizes. This is like a slightly smaller than 1/4-inch jack, which is weird, and that's what the mic is.
Yeah, that
so
is
that yet.
weird.
I'm going to adapt that somehow and see if I can use that to record stuff. Who knows how it'll be, but it's even got a volume potentiometer on this one ear.
That's nice.
Super cool. Yeah.
Nice. Well, you can solder on different connectors pretty easily. Get that skill set.
Right on.
All right. Thanks, JP, for the check-in.
Tomorrow, when folks are watching JP show, if you've ever tried to do an IoT project and it just didn't work out, which is like all of us, or if you wanted to learn some like web framework stuff and it was like, okay, now I need to learn Linux and I need to do all these things. This is a really neat way, kind of like how makecode and CircuitPython is a good way to dip your toes into programming. This is a really neat way to learn Internet of Things. So if you ever had to do a project where I need to get an image on a microcontroller and have it like, or calendar, work over the internet with something, watch JP's show and see how easy this is. I'm coming back to doing these type of projects. It was just like, so it just took too long. It was terrible. Yeah. And when Lady Ada and I are working on stuff now, I can make a interactive weather display in minutes. So anyways, watch tomorrow.
Yeah, that stuff was a battle before, right? And now it's actually kind of fun. It's so much easier.
Yeah. So
we'll talk
do the
about
Pepsi challenge for the folks who do embedded development. Try to do something like this on something else and see how it goes. Okay.
All right, sweet. JP will be taking you on an internet journey. All right, next up, Mike B.
Hi, guys. This week, my project, a la Lady Ada, is using the microbit from BBC with our Cricut robotics board. And it is as simple as, let's see if I can get this right. It just slots in to a Cricut. There's different flavors of Cricut for different controllers, and this one is specially made for Cricut. And it has all of the great robotics and touch outputs around the thing. So what I've done is put a servo motor on one output and this nice glowy NeoPixel strip there. And I have a second microbit, which I've just put a battery on and purposed as a transmitter. So easily enough, I push a button and boom, the lights go on. And it's amazingly simple. Like Phil was saying, in that technology, it used to be Bluetooth and Arduino and about 500 lines of code, and you had to figure out the right library. Definitely not the case this way. This is using Microsoft makecode for microbit, and I was able to, for the Bluetooth transmitter, I used like 6 unique blocks and then kind of cloned them, one for A, which moves the servo motor there, and B to turn the lights on and off, so that now they're off. I did a little bit more with Cricut. You need to put in an extension for the NeoPixels and the Cricut, but they're there, and they provide the blocks that you need. And so I whipped this project up in like an hour. I mean, it was more time writing it up than it was actually building it. But it provides a level, like JP was saying, of creativity. You're spending your time on the creativity instead of trying to be frustrated working through all of the deep down technical bits, which I'm a technical person. I like to do that sometimes, but when I really want to focus on making glowy movie things, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
So makecode has been wonderful in that. So we've got this project. I wrote it up on the Adafruit learning system. The guide is up right now. So if you go to learn.adafruit.com, you can check this out. And it's one of those things where once you have it, you can extend it. You can remote control anything you want. You don't have to just do this. You take it and make it what you want.
Okay. Thanks, Mike. It's the microbit minute.
Yeah.
Mike. All right, Noe Pedro.
Hey guys. Hey folks. Happy PyPortal Day. We are working on some PyPortal projects as well. Yeah. Let's see what we have. So we figured we'd make a quick little stand for our PyPortal. It's a little 3D printed stand. And so it holds up
that's some nice graphics with your YouTube deets on there.
Those are live stats over the internet.
Yeah, those are our live stats. So it pulls, I think, every minute or so. So it's using the bitmap fonts. And what did I just do? Let's talk about the case.
You hit the reset button.
I think I did. Yeah, it's back here, actually. You do have access to it. So there it is. So it's a really simple stand. I'm using our M2.5 standoff kit. They're the nylon black style, and they work really well with the mounting tabs. So if you folks are getting your PyPortal and you need a quick, simple project, why not print this while you are waiting on your PyPortal? I got some other photos of it with some different demos. That is the GitHub stars demo. So it takes a look at different GitHub repos and shows you how many stars it has. That's the event calendar one. That's just a nice shot of Moo, because it's my favorite editor for Python. And there's some odds and ends there that some previous projects you might know and love.
I like that you have a countdown with a picture of you about how many days until you go to Disneyland.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Well, I think that'll be neat for anyone to make countdowns for kids, for relatives, for friends. It's like X number of days until the following happens. Totally. And you can customize it yourself in a couple minutes. So that's cool. Okay.
Yay. Awesome. So check it out. It's on the GitHubs and Thingiverses. And yeah, we also have CAD files for the PyPortal if anyone wants to design stuff for it. You can check those out. Yeah.
Nice. I like this Noe Pedro. Okay, Erin, what are you crafting? Crafty, Erin.
Right. So I've been working on a fantastic corset design. I am using makecode, and I'm using the side light NeoPixels, and it looks really amazing. I have a circuit playground hidden under here, and I've got a couple of different modes. I'm having a lot of fun sort of delving into makecode. And I just love the way that these side light pixels work. I just have them sitting right on top of the corset boning, and they shine just to the side, which basically makes the whole entire thing just glow. It's gorgeous. What I've done with the code is in makecode, I managed to do all this. I have 5 or 6 different modes on here. There was that twinkle mode that was just on. This one is just a rainbow fade where it fades through the colors. I hit the button again, and it'll just freeze on a color. So I can just have it be whatever color I want, and then hit the button again, and it will do an animation in the color that it's frozen in, which is kind of neat, so that I can have this sort of gradient animation happen in any color I want without having to write too many modes, one for each gradient color, just because of the way whenever I stop it, it'll do that. And then another mode which makes it go into kind of a rainbow animation. So the whole thing will twinkle in rainbow. So I've been having a ton of fun with this. And it's working on the guide this week. It's just freaking stunning. I wore it out to a fancy dress ball in LA a couple of weeks ago, and everybody was just all over the moon about it. So delighted with this project. And it is going to be next up in the Learning Center. I'm working on it this week. It's kind of a big guide, so it'll be a couple more days, but hopefully it'll get up there soon.
Okay, I'm sure people can't wait to get their NeoPixel corsets going, especially for festival season. I could see this being a big project for somebody to start now. So in the summer they can wear it, or in the spring they can wear it out at an event. Looks great.
Okay.
Erin.
Let's go to. It looks like Nithin, Nithin. Nithin.
Nithin.
Yeah, Nithin. That's right.
Nithin, hi.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Nithin. This is my son, Rowan. I'm one of the coaches for his first LEGO League team. LEGO League, where they use the EV3s, and they basically have to build a robot to solve some of the challenges on the big board. This year's theme is, for anyone who's not doing FLL this year's theme is space travel. And specifically, they have to do a project. And this year's project is they have to come up with a solution for a physical or social human problem that people face in long-term space exploration in the solar system. So this is one of the projects that are solutions that they came up with. So I'm going to pass it to Rowan to talk about.
So this is our solution.
Can you hold it up so we can see it? Okay, thanks.
For the CO2 problem. And so if you breathe in too much gas that is not oxygen, you can get something called hypoxia, which can lead to death. So
bad.
This is just a prototype for a wearable CO2 detection device using a SGP30 CO2 sensor right here and a Circuit Playground Express. And so we coded this in Mu Circuit Python, and so we found that the code was really easy, and so all the code you can find on GitHub. And so
is that how it works?
Yeah. So how do you know what happens if there's too much carbon dioxide? How do they know that they're in danger?
So it's going to turn from green to red, and then make a beep.
Ooh, good. Oh,
that's really smart, because you don't even need to speak the same language as your other spacefaring humans, and you can also just hear it instead of seeing it. So
I like that you have
two user interface,
two modes to detect, because again, if you're in space, like you maybe there isn't you can't hear something, or maybe somebody's outside of a window and they're looking in, they see somebody else who's about to get hypoxia, so they can see it. But also audio is really good, because sometimes if it's on their suit, they wouldn't be able to look down. So it's good to have multiple modes of interfacing with users. Some people can see better than they can hear. Some people can hear better than they can see. So this is a really good project. Good work.
Using Million Circuit Python too.
Nice.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, congratulations. Email support@adafruit.com, and we will send you out an As Seen on the Show and Tell sticker, so when it goes to space, it will look good on that spacesuit.
If it goes to space.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're trying.
And congratulations. And if you come up with more projects as you do first, come on by. We'd love to see what you're working on, either alone or with your teammates. These are some cool projects. You're a budding inventor.
Good work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, next up, Sophie.
Sophie.
Maker of spacesuits recently.
Oh, we can't hear you. There you go.
Can you hear me now? I was so distracted. That was such a cool project. I've got my Flappy Bird hoodie. So this is, it has the Circuit Playground Express, and it's got some conductive fabric patches on the sleeve and on the side. And when you're wearing it, there's a little run of conductive thread in this patch. So when you're wearing it and your arm is inside, and the two patches touch, and then
Turn on.
it'll make a connection. So right now I just have it set up to just show lights, but and it's not plugged into my computer, or it will be hitting a space bar and doing wacky things. But I usually have it set up to just send a space bar key press to the keyboard, to the computer, and then I can play Flappy Bird just by flapping my arms. So yeah, it's a pretty simple project, but for all of my projects, I'm always kind of like, how can I turn this into a costume? So I covered it with felt feathers just to make it look more bird-like. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's super simple, but you can make it as complex and, just take it as far as you want to go with it. You could also add more patches and do more complex games and stuff like that. So it's just another fun way to play a game without using a physical handheld controller or something.
This is one of the best projects to tweet about because it's a bird. Get a tweet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and actually, the space bar as a control button it's funny because it's used for a lot of different things, like not just playing Flappy Bird. So when I was trying to take photos of this, because I'm writing this up as a tutorial for Hackspace, so I was trying to take photos of this, and usually my camera app uses the space bar to take a photo. So I was like posing in my hoodie and like flapping to take the picture, and it was working. It was so weird, but you could flap to do whatever you want. You don't have to play Flappy Bird. You can flap.
This looks like it would be a totally awesome thing to bring if you do a maker fair. I'm sure people would just like line up 50 at a time, just wear that and just chicken dance.
Oh my gosh.
It's like the feathers that make it. You just want it. You're like, I am Flappy Bird.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to feel like a dork doing this. But as soon as the game is on, like it's so stressful. You're like, oh my God, I have to make it fly. And I didn't even realize, like I posted a little video of me doing it. And I didn't realize until I watched the video after the fact that I was saying, oh my God, every single time I was flying. I was so into it. I was like, oh my God, oh my God. I didn't even know I was doing that.
So, our brains go on autopilot when we do repetitive motions.
Well, it's like I was thinking like maybe like our brain has this leftover like genetic like dinosaur material that's like I gotta escape. It's like the predator.
You can also combine this with the with the CO2 sensor, and you could do the canary in a mine shaft thing. Like if you stop flapping and the CO2 thing goes off. Okay. All right.
I love that both great projects are the same board.
All right.
If you want a sticker, you know how to get hold of us. So.
Thank you.
Okay,
all right,
we're going to go to Bill, and then we'll wrap up with Eduardo.
All right, Bill.
Then Eduardo.
Welcome
back.
back.
Guys, how are you?
Good. Hello.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
And so, yes, I actually was all ready to talk about the Sip and Puff thing, and I will in a second, but I just got some news that I wanted to let you guys know, and I wanted to make sure John Park knows it. I don't know if you saw my note earlier, but we just found out. You guys remember that I worked with Microsoft to do all the XAC stuff, right? Sorry about that. I know. There you go. So Bryce Johnson from Microsoft just about, I don't know, a few hours ago, published all the notes that are needed to actually know about the details of the XAC. So in other words, what are the voltages and the currents, and what is the pinout from every one of the jacks, all the stuff that was missing that he gave to John and I ahead of time. The exact document is now officially published. So if you want to make your own, let me see if I can find, there it is. So if you want to make your own adaptive controller gamepad or any other device to control it, they went ahead and published this. And we pushed them on this because they're very much where this isn't ready for public consumption kind of stuff. And it's probably not perfect, but it actually has in here, I'm trying to get down to the meat of it, for every pin exactly how, it's basically the data sheet for the XAC, the Xbox Adaptive Controller. So if you guys want to work on that happened just a couple hours ago. I just saw it about 6:30.
This is a great, pair this with JP's guide, and it's like super.
Yeah, it will match. And perhaps more importantly, I won't stop screen sharing, sorry. More importantly, it's official, and they will keep this one up to date as things change on the XAC. So that's great news. I did want to bring an update on that Sip and Puff. I touched on it very briefly last week, but I know Noe and Pedro I talked about it today on the 3D printing show, and I wanted to show something. I love this box, and I know it's a 3D printed box, right? But this is really cool. So I know you know I love the fact that you made the port available, right? The ported pressure sensor available, and it works fantastic. It's just I2C, so it's only 4 wires here. It's going into the Bluetooth Feather, the NRF52. But it's kind of got a problem, which is that if you don't have some kind of strain relief on this port, it'll fail, right? Yeah. So you can pull that metal thing right off of that port if you're not careful. You know, it's not too fragile, but it's a normal kind of fragile, right? And the second thing is that if you don't have a way to disconnect hoses, you can't swap them out when you have different users. You have issues with, you know, moisture and saliva and all kinds of stuff like that. And so I made this case. I'll see if I can get without bumping the mic here. This is a normal snap fit case. You'll see this is the standard Noe and Pedro design of having the little extrusion here that will catch the roof. But what I really like about it is this. So if you look, I bought this little coupler. And if you look real carefully, don't know if you're going to have a high enough resolution to see it, but it actually, let me see if I can get this to focus a little better. There you go. So it actually has little nubs that hold it in, right? And so this that little change means that I can go in here and it actually pops in, and this will not come out, right? This is completely isolated. It's great. This is going to last for frickin' ever, right? This is just, it's never going to see, that's the little nub that will come off if you're not careful, right?
Yeah, no, it's cool. Not meant to be strain relief.
Yeah, that's really smart because it's a little it's a firewall for accidents.
Yeah, and you can also like put a filter in there.
Exactly right. And so this will pop right out. This thing right here, I'll send you. This is from Utah Pneumatic. They sell them in packs of 100 or 10, but you really only need 1. So it might be something that you might want to stock because it really. You need something that, oops, sorry. That's the first time I've ever knocked my mic over here. Sorry about that. You actually do need something that will grab onto the outside of the tube, not the inside. I tried doing this the other way where I tried 3D printing nozzles. It totally doesn't work. In addition to it being really hard to print something that small, it completely narrows the airway. It just totally doesn't work. So you need something that goes in around the outside of it, and they're not expensive. They're like $1 a piece if you buy them, 10 at a time, and they snap right in there. So I really like that. And then I have one other thing to show if you have a sec. I'm gonna
real fast.
Keep it to
all right. Well, you know what? How about this? I'll just tell you. I have a project that I'm gonna post up to you guys because your Pi project, your Pi portal, is going to completely derail me from all of my other projects in the next week or two.
Correct.
So I'm going to share some things and hope somebody else picks up some of mine because the Pi portal, I have a project for that is just perfect.
You do a Pi portal project that keeps track of all the things that you were derailed about.
Yeah. So AT has been waiting for the Pi portal for a long time.
Touch screen, yeah.
Yeah, it's got touch screen and it's got Bluetooth and Wi-Fi.
Yep.
USB32, so you can do quite a bit.
Yep.
And then you've got expansion ports. I put I2C on there, so yeah, you can have. Yeah, I know you were doing some projects with internet connectivity and stuff. So I think, and it's fast. Like we got the.
I'm loving it. It'll be here on Friday, and I will be completely derailed and do nothing else. So.
All right.
Yeah, check out the projects. We've got them. We got like 20 projects so far in the learning system guide, so you can take a look at those and get inspired for.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Thanks, guys.
All right, sweet.
All right, Eduardo.
We had you.
Was here.
And we lost you.
Hello.
Oh, there you are.
There you are. Okay, Eduardo, unmute your mic and share a project.
I've had a lot of audio cut out. I hope I'm coming through okay.
Yeah, the audio is good.
Audio is good. You're in like 1 Eduardo frame per second, but
that's okay.
We'll try to.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'll do my best. The days vintage technology and show it on Show and Tell.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here, an old Radio Shack a project kit, and it's got 10 LEDs. It's got a mini speaker. It's got a little push buttons. I'm wondering if the inspiration for a modern product came from this at some time or another. But
Yeah,
I
people
put a
love
little prototype.
Those 501 kits. Those are so great.
Well, it's got a little prototyping area, and I did a project using the 4 push buttons and 3 potentiometers and a Pro Trinket, a 5-volt Pro Trinket. It turns out that when I put rechargeables in the battery case, that I get a perfect 5 volts coming out of the 6-volt port. And some scrap NeoPixels, a little 4 here at the bottom, and pixel right here. So that means I can make color mix. I've got a little through-hole NeoPixel there giving me control of hue and saturation and luminance on the 3 potentiometers.
Ooh.
The 4 little buttons allow me to quickly assign a color I dial to the 4 different NeoPixels. And that's kind of handy. What good is that? Well, there's also a slide switch here. I slide that, and suddenly my little through hole, my indicator pixel is flashing. And when I change the controls now, the entire group of 4 NeoPixels will adjust as a group. I can up the hue and desaturate them to white, all as a group, or fade the entire thing out to nothing. And you know, that's kind of cool and fun and semi-interesting. But what good is that? What use is that? Well, it's fun for mixing colors, but I'm going to share screen again because I want to take you quickly to my classroom. And there it is. There's a classroom at my church. And there we go. And I'm sitting in the middle of it, and I've got this console on my knee. And what I'm doing is I've wired it to 4 different full-color theatrical lights that I've just sort of stuck around the room, and I'm freely mixing the colors as if I was a DJ right there in my classroom. This is 4 different separate lights, but it could be 4 banks of lights on a stage or on a dance floor or in a theater or someplace like that. The console has that little logic chip that allows it to send DMX512 commands over a line to DMX controlled lighting. So that's handy as a portable solution for people that want live theatrical type lighting.
Nice.
See if I can share my way back again.
Thank you so much. We actually got the video came out pretty nicely. Like we're glowing in different colors.
Now, do you remember Colin's Pulse Room? Imagine a Pulse gymnasium.
Yeah.
Okay? Or DMX controls like this. If you set up lights on a dance floor and then used Bluetooth to connect to your phone running the Adafruit Bluetooth LE app, and then the accelerometer is making the lights dance to your moves as you move with the phone in your pocket.
Yes.
DMX control like this is something that's been around for a while on the Arduino site, but I think I'll write up this project as an easy, just on the knees light controller in case anyone else is interested.
Yeah, and please let us know. And also, of course, you get a sticker, email support@adafruit.com, and just say DJ Eduardo would like a show and tell sticker.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Well, thank you so much, everyone. We're going to do
Epic
Ask an
show.
Engineer in just a few seconds. Thank you, Sophie.
Thanks, Sophie, Noe Pedro, JP,
Ron. Thank you,
Mike, Erin, Eduardo,
and
Bill.
We will see everybody in just a couple minutes on Ask an Engineer.
Oh, there's a cat.
And we'll see everybody next week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks for making this the
Hi,
best half
Mitty.
an hour of our week every single week. Bye, everybody.
Bye. The cat.